Aloha and welcome to Oahu's fabled North Shore, where we're here to bring you the best from the 2015 season of the Stand Up World Tour. I'm your host Tristan Boxford, and we're going to be going from start to finish to see what happened in the 2015 season. It is always a welcome return to Oahu's fabled North Shore for the 2015 Sunset Beach Pro. What an iconic location with world-class waves and steeped in history and tradition. Sunset Beach has long been regarded as one of the most challenging waves in the world, a true proving grounds for the world's best. For stand-up paddling, it provides the perfect canvas with big open walls and challenging sections.
One of my favorite stops is here at Sunset Beach. I think it's perfect that we have
this first event in Hawaii because stand-up paddling and surfing have really deep roots here. Obviously, start out on a high with Sunset. You never know what's going to be thrown at you out there.
Humbling, scary,
powerful, and unpredictable.
What is fear?
I'd say holy shit. Holy shit if it's a big one.
It's big, it's difficult.
It's the most difficult one to win because you gotta be really prepared.
When that wave comes and you gotta turn around and go, it's all commitment. You just gotta go and hope for the best. Hope you pick the right one.
It's just like big lumps, and once you're on them, it's just you're flying.
It's a perfect wave for stand-up paddle surfing.
The Sunset Beach Pro has always been one of the favorite stops for four-times world champion Kai Lenny.
Kai Lenny, congratulations, you're 14 years old. The Maui.
It's always like competing against Kai because he's one of those guys that will push you to want to do better. And surfing with guys like that is always so much fun.
He's a competitor, he's a surfer, he's a waterman. He does a lot of stuff across the board.
He can basically ride anything. He can kite, he can surf, he can windsurf.
Just a definite example of a professional. He enjoys what he's doing and he takes it seriously.
Definitely someone I look up to. Someone that I look and strive to be like.
I admire him for his dedication.
He's an all-around waterman.
He's able to really be focused and driven.
Kai is a big inspiration for me. And he's an inspiration for all of us to keep pushing our boundaries of what we think is possible.
There's much more to Kai than what you see on social media, and he's just like a really good person and super cool guy.
Now he's an incredible ocean athlete, and I think a lot of people look up to him for good reason.
It's been a dream of mine to be a world champion and to win multiple world titles, not only in a single discipline in stand-up, but multiple. Really, it's just winning world championships and winning contests are a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, what I've learned now is kind of about the journey along the way to get there, which is what makes them special. The journey along the way, the hard part, the trials that you go through, and the conditions you're put through, you wouldn't want to have it any other way, but the hardest possible way. Everyone's pushing the limits right now in stand-up paddling, and the greatest thing in the world is that on this tour, we're all 25 and under, really. So it adds a really interesting dynamic, and it's a very youthful movement here. It's actually this young sport that is exploding in every angle, every avenue it is.
So as you see, the scene is set for a dramatic showdown here for the World Tour opener at Sunset Beach. Make sure to join us after the break as we'll get into the action right here on Oahu's fabled North Shore. Welcome back to the North Shore of Oahu for this edition of the Stand Up World Tour, where we're about to get underway with the 2015 season. Historically, the women have always started their World Tour right here on Oahu as they prepare to do battle at Turtle Bay Resort. But before we get underway with the action, let's get to know these athletes as we sat down with the leading women on the Stand Up World Tour.
Respect, exhilarating.
Satisfaction,
amazing. Enjoyment,
happiness,
the combination of being able to surf and to stand up paddleboard, and you can go out in any conditions, on the waves, on the flat water, and it's so versatile. I love it. I stand up paddle because it's a ton of fun. I love the ocean. I love every type of way that you can ride a wave.
I stand up paddle because I love it.
Stand up paddle is a great way to have fun, and it's
someone really wants to try and think it's a dream, you should try it and enjoy it. Like now, the level is so high, anybody could win, and I'm really happy to see this increase of the level and the increase of the number of girls competing in every event.
Not one leading woman, maybe the top 5 can win, so you really have to battle.
Everybody's so professional now.
It's really exciting to have so many women that we need to have a trials event.
Everyone's just like pushing harder and harder.
There is no easy hits anymore.
In order for us to excel at the top, we need to have other people coming up to push us.
And the level of surfing has improved. Like every year, it's getting better and better.
The top 12 girls are all really good. Izzy's definitely the stiffest competition. Last year she cleaned up completely.
Honestly, I think everyone's so good. I think anyone could surprise everyone, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm excited about
Skylar Lickle. I think that she is a good shortboarder and somebody to maybe look out for in the future.
Abaya, she surfs really good. A lot of power and a really nice style.
You know, Shakira, if she had the chance to do the whole tour, she'll be at the top for sure. I'm super excited. I'm just happy to be a part of it, like since the beginning. And
in France and in the world, Caroline Angibo is a good model too. I would like to surf with her because she's a girl.
I think Shakira Westorp, she's Australian, she freaking rips so hard, and I'm not sure if she's doing the whole tour, but she could definitely do some damage. It's really cool, I guess, to come to such an iconic place for surfing, to be able to start our tour here, and I haven't been so lucky these last 2 years at Turtle Bay, and I'm kind of looking to take it out this year if I can. So, and if not, then I'll just, I guess, have more drive and a desire to go win all the other ones, I guess.
As the world's best women return to the magical Turtle Bay Resort, they are faced with a tricky forecast this year, with only a small window of opportunity to run. Was red hot this year with the return of the Nakamaka Youth Challenge to Turtle Bay, where we saw Mauiki Raioha, Poenaiki's younger brother, showing that talent runs deep in the Raioha family from Tahiti. Once into the women's main event, it was no surprise to see 2014 world champion Izzy Gomez come out of the gate strong, determined to get on a roll towards what would be her first win at the Turtle Bay Pro. A new face on tour is Aussie Shakira Westorp, who stepped up to put on a stellar performance throughout the rounds, progressing all the way to the finals, where she led right up until the dying moments of the heat.
Yeah, can't really complain with that. It was challenging conditions out there, and then the last probably 10 minutes I just caught wave after wave on the head. But yeah, second, I think I was this close to first as well, so yeah, I'm stoked.
Caroline Angibo from France has been posting solid heat scores all the way through the contest on her way to the finals, but seemed to be having problems finding the right waves in the all-important final heat. That is, until the last 8 minutes, where she was able to pick off 2 great waves and milk every last bit out of them to take the well-deserved victory.
I was mad at me, so I said, okay, I have to do one good wave, and whatever the score is gonna be okay, but just one wave, just not for myself. It was not for competing or for the score, but I didn't want to go out of this heat with not surfing, so I can't believe it.
But ladies and gentlemen, coming from behind, give it up for your champion in the yellow from France, Caroline Angibo. A 6.77 and a 3.93 to take over first place. Shakira Westorp finishes in second. Izzy Gomez in third, and Candice Appleby in fourth.
Kiahi Day Avoiders. We're here at Laniakea and this is where I like to call home. I was born in Noosa, but my mum was originally from here and my dad actually lived here for a while, so I was always kind of spending a lot of time in Hawaii. I've been kiting for a while now and doing a lot of trips out here, and actually met my girlfriend down in Mokulea, down the end of the road. Met her down there and naturally wanted to spend more time here and found myself here. It's a pretty amazing place. If you look down the beach, basically there's Laniakea right there, and for most people that would know, that's basically the first kind of view of waves you'll see as you drive out onto the North Shore. We're right on the beach, epic waves in front, super fun little house, ping pong table, spot for my boards, and life can't really be any better. I was always into surfing from a young age. Kind of started doing it just as a fun thing when it was small surf, and the boards started getting smaller, they started getting better, and it kind of just progressed into something that I started doing a lot more often. For me, it's just all about maximizing that time I can spend in the ocean. With kiting and surfing and stand-up, I basically had something to do for every condition. If it's windy, I kite. If it's smaller surf, I'll ride a stand-up, and if it's pumping, I'll surf my surfboard. This is kind of just the gear room for all the toys. You've got surfboards, kiteboards, kites, some remote control gliders, kind of all the tools and whatever you need to basically live, I guess. The very first event I did in Huntington, I ended up having a decent showing there. I ended up winning the trials and had a couple really good heats there, and that kind of got me started on the tour. Then after doing well in the BVIs and walking away with fourth, that really kind of fueled a fire in me to know that basically I could do well and compete on that level. And having that different background, you're used to taking different lines and trying different things, so it kind of, I guess, lets you explore different possibilities. And for me, I like trying to just bring those different turns or different styles to the sport. I'd rather do a really good looking turn than something where you kind of hit it and then you're struggling and you look like you're going to fall. I just kind of like to make everything look smooth, and it always feels really good to do a nice, smooth style of turn. Everything was going good. I was second in the ratings and was surfing down at the Gold Coast at Snapper, and just surfing on a shortboard. I took off on a double up, pretty late drop, and I think basically I just missed the board and landed square on the sand on my ankle. Ended up breaking my tibia and fracturing my fibula. It was really hard to watch that year slip away. I was doing so well. To kill the time, I actually got a drone and started flying that. For me, I think that was one of the biggest things that really helped me get through it. It kind of allowed me to actually go and watch the surf and shoot the surf without having to kind of sit there in complete pain that I was missing it, basically. If I could have another year where I finish in the top 5, that would be amazing, and that'd be a great start to kind of get back on track. That's it for today. Thanks for coming out and enjoying the North Shore.
So clearly Kiahi Day Boys, a name to look out for and one of the leading contenders on the men's stand-up world tour. Make sure to join us after the break, as we'll be getting straight back into the action here at the Sunset Beach Pro.
Welcome to day number 1 of the Sunset Beach Pro, right here on the North Shore. The stand-up world tour is here at Sunset Beach, and we have the trialists out in the water, and we'll see what they can do here in these treacherous, huge conditions at Sunset Beach. It is real, folks. So round 1, we saw the first 4 heats of competition get out there. Of course, Kai Lenny advancing into the round 3, leapfrogging over the repecharge round. Also looking good was Kala Alexander, along with Van Rodigger, Justin Holland, and a host of other household names here on the Stand-Up Paddle World Tour.
Oh, it's always good to get the first heat out of the way, and now just looking forward to moving on through. It was pretty crazy out there because you kind of had to just wait for a wave to come to you. You couldn't really hunt them down or use your normal lineups. It was quite victory at sea, but nonetheless really fun.
It's a lot of good athletes in this competition. And anytime you can surf Sunset with 3 other guys, it's awesome. It's very challenging out there. I had no idea I won the heat. I was just trying to, you know, get some waves, keep moving, and keep from getting caught inside.
Here I'm actually with Fiona, the only female competitor in the main event here at the Sunset Beach Pro. Fiona, you've got a massive smile on your face. How was it?
That was so much fun. I loved it. Just being out there and seeing the waves that came through and catching off or taking off on a couple and just going down the face, and oh, it was so exhilarating.
What impressive performances by Fiona Wild and Izzy Gomez taking on the men in giant conditions at Sunset. After the maxed out conditions on day 1, day 2 proved to be more manageable with beautiful surf on tap, as the crowds were treated to a world-class display of stand-up paddle surfing from the world's very best athletes at the iconic Sunset Beach.
The waves here today still very large in the 12 to 15 foot Hawaiian style range. So that is 30 feet if you're doing your math. When you think of North Shore professional competition, during the winter months, you think of the potential of having 20 to 30 foot faces as a competition day. So that is what we have on tap here today. And thank you to all of you joining us here on the beach. For this final day, we will be crowning a Sunset Beach Pro champion today. Today the waves aren't huge, but they're still very contestable and rideable. And this is the Sunset Beach Pro, the first event of the 2015 World Tour. When you're surfing big waves, you pretty much just gotta make sure your feet are planted in the right spot and point and shoot. When you're in small waves, a lot of the speed has to be generated by the surfer themselves, by the athletes. So sometimes working just as hard in smaller waves to get those maneuvers than as in big waves.
I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful day. The water is so clean. There's not a lot of waves, but if you find the waves out there, you can still surf. I'm excited. Like, we got some good ones in my heat and made it through, so I'm excited to the next one.
And Mo cranking a nice carving turn. And another on that smaller wave. Here's Justin Holland. And Justin carving nicely off the top. And it stays alive, making that inside connection. Ty Lenny out the back, nice snap into a free fall.
Yeah, I was like hoping to expect some bigger surf because up until this event, it's been huge waves for a couple months now, and the winds haven't been great, which was very fortunate. It switched around to the traditional direction, but I definitely had to change my game plan quick. It actually turned out to be awesome. It was really like a skate park out there. It felt a little bit like Little Trestle's wave.
Despite the challenging conditions on offer this year at Sunset Beach, what an incredible event as we saw the performance level of all the athletes go through the roof. And what a worthy victor the multiple times world champion Kai Lenny at his very favorite Sunset Beach. Make sure to join us after the break as we'll be heading off to the majestic islands of Tahiti for stop number 2 of the 2015 Stand Up World Tour.
Good morning, I'm Dave O'Muir. I'm from Western Australia and I'm here for the Stand Up World Tour in Tahiti.
Yorana, welcome back to Tahiti. What a pleasure it is to be back in these beautiful islands as we'll be getting underway with an incredible stop number 2 of the Stand Up World Tour. We've got an incredible forecast in place. We're looking forward to some great action. At stop number 2 on the 2015 tour, it's been a few years since we were last here.
So good to surf again, to compete at home and have a pro contest here.
I just rolled up last night about 10 o'clock and didn't know what the swell was doing. Come down and had a look and it's pumping, so I'm going to go for a quick paddle and catch up with the boys.
Since the last edition of the SUWT News Pro in Tahiti, we've seen a huge evolution of the sport, with talent dropping out from all over the world, not least here in Tahiti, where we see a new guard of young talent coming through the ranks.
You know, the swell dropped off a little bit, so in my mind I could see the spot better. I wasn't so freaked out. But it's just really nice to be surfing with the Tahitian boys and you know, learning more about my culture here.
World Tour has become renowned for providing the greatest challenges to its trialists, those athletes vying for a spot in the prestigious main event. As we saw at sunset earlier in the year, the congregation of contenders stepped up to do battle here at stop number 2 in Tahiti, in some of the more consequential conditions imaginable, as powerful barreling surf unloaded onto the shallow reefs below. The trials event in Tahiti has always proved to be one of the most fiercely contested events of the whole year. This year, we saw a New Zealander provide us with the underdog story of the year. Meet Daniel Kereopa.
You know, I'm really stoked just to make it through the trials and be in the main event with the best surfers. I think everybody wants to get a barrel here in Tahiti in the heat, and you know, super happy. It's been a good day. Been a good day.
While Tahiti is most famous for its oceans, as you go inland you can see some of the most dramatic scenery. We're also going to mark the point where the ancient migrating Polynesians started their journey out to Hawaii, creating the strongest link between the two island nations.
Hervé Maretata. He's the main person who take care of this valley. This is the ancestor church temple. So we're going to go over there and he's going to show us, tell us what to do, the story, everything, the respect, the nature, the mama. The offer we give some, because they don't know how to write. So it's for the new generations coming, and they know they have something. You can feel in the good vibe, and for the crew, for all the crew, and you can feel the good vibe from the ancestor.
So we are here in the heart of Tahiti, pretty much. So it's just amazing, so beautiful, and I mean just offer something to Mother Nature, to just say thanks for everything.
I think I like the idea that I'm reconnecting with my family from Tahiti. You know, like I live in New Zealand, and our Māori culture is strong, and I'm really enjoying the same stories that we have in New Zealand are the same ones here in Tahiti, and it confirms to me, you know, a lot about myself, a lot about my family, and you know, it may be a different island, but I feel like I'm at home. You know, for me and how I've been brought up is we have to, you know, pay our respects to the land, to the ocean, and to everything first before we go and enjoy what we want to do. So I'm grateful that I can spend some time on the whenua, which is the land, and feel the spirit of the land and feel the spirit of the people.
So what an incredible opportunity to see not only such a beautiful place, but a sacred site for all Polynesians from New Zealand all the way up to Hawaii. After the break, we'll be getting straight back into the action. Make sure to join us as we have an epic forecast in place.
Morning! It's Mother's Day in Tahiti.
Oh, been good. Tahiti's amazing. Waves have been pumping, all the boys have been charging, so it's been good.
It's super clean. Probably a little, I think it looks a little bigger, but I only just got here. Yeah, great conditions. Bit of a shower this morning, like torrential shower, and no, it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, beautiful. I got here midnight 3 days ago, so got up, had a good surf the day after I got in, and it was big, solid, and it was sort of like welcome to Tahiti.
Oh, Tahiti's amazing. It's always a pleasure to come back here, meet up with old friends and meet some new ones along the way, and just coming here for the waves, it's incredible. Paddling out, you know, the last few days, it's been big. So looking forward to what, you know, the competition holds, and all the boys are going to be ripping, I'm sure.
Yeah, the condition is good, but after maybe a little bit big, tomorrow's big day. But Tahiti, very fun, so happy to stay here, my first time.
Yeah, look, it's a little bit smaller today, but we're hoping that it's going to push sort of from midday onwards. But yeah, look, we've got 4 to 6 foot sets, so it's very contestable. Just a little bit inconsistent, but we've got a new swell hitting, so it's going to kick in from midday, hopefully, or mid-arbor, and then tomorrow's going to be cracking, so it should turn on.
Round 1 kicked off with some great performances from the regulars and the local Tahitians. One particular standout scoring the highest wave of the whole contest, Zane Schweitzer, starting as he meant to continue.
Definitely not the soppiness we were surfing 2 days ago, but man, it's still so fun and beautiful place, stoked to be here, and got a good score, 9.5. Wanted to get a little deeper, but it'll do, it'll do.
However, the first round was not without its surprises, as we saw the current ratings leader and 2014 world champion Kai Lenny fell victim to an on-form Ayrton Cotolino.
I'm super stoked to take the last one and last minute. Yeah, I got the little barrel, so sick.
Oh, it didn't go the way I had for sure hoped for. I mean, stopping is just one of those waves you really gotta, you know, wave choice.
Stoked, I got a couple waves and one pretty good turn and got through, so stoked to be in the next round.
Looks pretty fun. West ball, it looks like the swell said it was going up, and it's kind of showing face from this morning, so the west ball is kind of pitching a little bit more, and there's some sets coming out of the blue that we, you know, that if you get one, you know, definitely would get
Would
you
score.
Yeah, definitely would score. So
It's tricky though. Everyone, it's kind of an in-between size. It would be better if it was a little smaller or a little bigger, but looks like the swell is filling in, so maybe we'll get lucky later.
Unfortunately for the 2014 world champion, things did not go much better in round 2.
Just didn't feel like I was in sync with the ocean as much as I normally am, and disappointing, but I guess I'll just use it as my throwaway.
Make sure to join us after the break, as we'll be getting straight back into action full force, as we've had pounding swell the last few days and it's looking to peak once again with high surfer advisories in effect across the islands. There's no doubt that there'll be a few favorites coming into this event. Tahiti has to be one of the most idyllic locations in the whole world, regardless of the activity. For surfers, it is a chance to detach and unwind and search for perfect waves. And there's no better way to do that than to step onto a 48-foot sailboat and explore the unknown. As amazing as a 2-day break on a sailing trip to Morea on the Moorings yachts can be, it was time to get back to business as round 3 kicked off with some epic barrels on offer, as the Hawaiian Bullet Obra found his feet, finding some of the most beautiful barrels of the event. Enough to earn him the Air Tahiti Nui Best Barrel Award. Battle of round 3 would end up being between 2 North Shore locals, Mo Freitas and Noah Janella, as Mo took the win by a matter of 0.11 points.
Time to get the game face on.
With round 4 consisting of 12 athletes, 4 would be eliminated from the draw before the quarterfinals. Expected, there was some big upset. From one of Australia's leading contenders, Keahideo Boyd, to the former world champion Leko Salazar, the Tahitian charger Patrice Gentil, and the young talent from France, Benoit Carpentier. The underdog story continued as the Kiwi Daniel Kereopa made it through to the semi-finals, which is where his great run ended, notching up another 3rd place in this Tahiti event.
I'm super stoked. You know, the first World Stand-Up Tour event I've ever done, and made it to the semi-finals, and you know, now I can see what level everybody's at, and they're really, really good, and they're great competitors and good guys.
Oh, feels so good to be in a final again, finally, and World Tour ranking event. Super stoked to be moving on through again. One more big heat, baby. Hopefully one more win. Haven't lost one yet since I started, so I'm just having fun, man. It's so good to be at a big left and surfing with all the world's best. And
man, really, really, really happy. Can't describe, man. Such a hard wave to surf, you know. Yeah, I'm amazed to be in a final and to run 4 heats today, and only one more now. Let's do it.
Maybe Kyle?
Both good mates of mine. No preference, I guess. But it's going to make an interesting title race, that's for sure.
Kyle is the best, man.
Changed my mind, and I think Zane's gonna win.
During the first half of the heat, it seemed as everything was going the Brazilians' way, as Caio Vaz notched up solid score after solid score to have a convincing lead. With everything on the line, Zane Schweitzer needed a miracle as he searched for the best possible wave to get him the score he needed. With 4 minutes to go, a 6.33 was the goal, and the perfect wave came Zane's way.
during the heat, I was just like, well, I gotta get a good one. I only need like a 6 or something, and I got that barrel I was visualizing, and a few good turns before and after, and I'm just so grateful, so blessed. Mahalo Waterman League, mahalo my friends and family back home, my brother Matty for all the support. Mahalo Maruru Tahiti!
So it was a proud moment to bring the Stand Up World Tour back to Tahiti, and it was everything we had hoped and more, as the conditions delivered and the athletes put on a performance like no other. So what an emotional victory there for the young Hawaiian from the island of Maui, Zane Schweitzer, his second win on tour, but it's been a while since 2011 on the Big Island. So it's all going to come down to one final showdown at Surf City, USA for the US Open of stand-up paddling. It'll all unfold after the break at Surf City, USA. Welcome back to the 2015 Stand Up World Tour. And what a finale this will be as it all comes down to the wire here in Surf City, USA. We've got title races on the line for both men and women, and numerous contenders stepping up for that prestigious world title. In the men's, watch out for Kyle Vaj, currently in the lead, but right behind him, winner in Tahiti, Zane Schweitzer will be looking for his first world title, just like Kyle. But you can never count out the multiple times world champion Kai Lenny, as he'll be looking for redemption after a disappointing result in Tahiti. Meanwhile, in the women, the familiar face of Izzy Gomez is still in play for the title in 2015. But watch out for the powerhouse Candice Appleby, Shakira Westop from Australia, who had a standout result at Turtle Bay. But also not forgetting our Turtle Bay champion for 2015, Caroline Angibault from France, who will be looking for a strong finish here on the Stand Up World Tour.
Aloha, we're coming to you from Huntington Beach for the Stand Up World Tour US SUWT Open. Day number 2 of competition saw the wrapping up of the men's trials. Felipe Rodriguez, the human spring, coiled up and exploded to a trials win into the main event. We got into the women's first round of the main event. The waves were small, but the determination was huge. And these girls really put on a show for their first round of the main event. And then we got into the men's main round where we saw 8.5s, 8.17s, big scores on small waves. And like I said, a lot of determination and a lot of great passion for the Stand Up Paddle World Tour, Huntington Beach, US SUWT Open. And Felipe Hernandez on the attack, a nice carving turn and finishes strong. As we watch Mo Freitas do a little fakie right there. What a nice maneuver right there from Mateus Salazar.
Iron down the line. Nice.
Swoop it and carve nicely off the top. So on this day 4 from Huntington Beach, the US Open of stand-up paddling, we saw the men wrapping up their round 1, straight into round 2, rapid charge, man-on-man action. It was heavy, heavy competition here at Huntington Beach. Into the women's division. We got them all the way down to the semifinals. Just 4 girls left in that semifinal. Izzy. Nice snapping turn right there.
What up? I'm Freitas. This is my motor home for when I'm down here in California. Come on, I'll show it to you. This is my dad, Tony. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We got this motor home, I think, maybe 3 years ago. We thought for the first time that it would, save money for, where we're going to be staying and stuff. And we've been coming to California, so around 3-4 times a year. So cool. We've been spending a lot of fun time with my brother, my dad, and sometimes my mom will come along. Just recently, my grandma and my girlfriend came along. It's pretty cool. It's fun, it's really tight and cozy.
I like it. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you can have a relationship like this with your son, it's awesome.
When I was younger, I didn't think I would ever be wanting to go to school for filming or going to school for editing and film and stuff. So stand-up for sure opened that door, and then it's opened the travel perspective too. I'm getting to travel all around the world, and it's dream come true. You get to see places. It's kind of nice to see so many places, and then you're like, oh, I want to live here, or I want to live there. Pretty sick, we went to Spain and Japan and tons of places in Europe, Tahiti, and I'm only 18, so I'm really thankful for it, and I can't wait for more. Yeah, so he hooked us up with a car to check out the Huntington Beach, and let's head over to Hamboards. Yeah. Well, we made it to Hamboards. Come inside and check out the group. Well, we just got here, and I met up with the celebrity Connor, new team rider for Hamboards. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna be sweeping up the streets. 3 years ago, I came here for an event, and I came here for the Nakamakai actually, and I'd seen these boards, these big skateboards, and I was like, oh my gosh, those things are sick. And I went over and I just, I felt like I wanted to jump on one, so I rode one, and then I met, it was Pete who was actually there, the owner of the guy who runs the entire thing, and so that he met my dad, and my dad talked to him, and we eventually hooked up, and he gave me a board, and I used it, and I just fell in love with it, and we helped them, they helped me, and it's so nice to be involved with a company like this. It's all handcrafted, and it's all, the smaller ones are all, hand dipped in paint, and they all make them right here and assemble them right here.
Not knowing how to make a real legitimate mainstream skateboard, we ended up with this great big thing, and we enjoyed it, we loved it, and we were surprised when, gosh, the neighbor wanted one, and the soccer coach wanted one, and then his buddy, and then we have a great time here putting together a board that feels like surfing when you ride it. It also feels like stand-up paddling when you ride it. So for both of those sports, it's a great cross-trainer.
So back in Hawaii, we, when we don't have waves, we ride these massive boards. And the cool thing about it is they just, recently came out with these land paddles, and they're hands down the best land paddles you can get on the market for this, for what if you want to be paddling on a skateboard. The new grip for the ground called, I came up with the name, the Poi Pounder, and just the way the flex patterns in the paddle, they matched it, and the paddles are just as good as the boards.
Well, we like to say we've never designed a product. All we do is just make stuff that we enjoy and love to use. Hey, Mo, thanks for coming by. Always good to see you. And here's the biscuit, and We made it up for it. Thanks for working on that with us. Yeah, that looks really cool. And then here's your new street sweeper with the boy pounder. Yeah, great name on that, by the way.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you around soon. Yes, I will be back. All right, good luck. Aloha.
So again, always great to explore the local venues here at all our stops on the Stand Up World Tour. No better place than exploring the culture in the heart of Surf City, USA. Great to catch up with Mo Freitas, a rising star on the Stand Up World Tour, and all the crew to have some fun outside of the competition. But when we come back, it'll be straight back into action as it all comes down to the wire here in the final stage of the 2015 Stand Up World Tour, as world titles will be decided here at the US Open of Stand Up Paddling. So welcome back to the close of the 2015 season. What a year it's been. It's been shorter, but the action has been intense with a great start at Sunset Beach, phenomenal conditions in Tahiti, and now coming back to a very technical display of surfing here at the US Open of Stand Up Paddling in Huntington Beach, California. And it's all come down to the wire here for the men as we're going to see a world title decided on this final day of competition. So will it be the Brazilians who take charge here, or the Hawaiians who come back in force at this final stop of the tour? So it's going to be an intense morning of action as the semifinals will determine whether the title race will go on to the final heat, as Zane Schweitzer needs to win his heat in order to have a chance at the title. After 2 years of finishing in second place, Kyle Vaj has just secured his first world title with the exit of Zane Schweitzer in the semifinals there. Kyle, an amazing achievement. 2 years in a row second. You've won it this year. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I can't believe I won that actually. Like, Rocky just had the new world champion. I'm like, yeah, that's me, man. I'm so happy. And yeah, like, I understand Zane, man. Like, the past 2 years, I almost got there, and like in the last stop, I fell shortly last year for him in a quarterfinal. So yeah, I wanted to be with him in the final, but at the same time, I was like, man, if this thing come before, I'll be happy too. Like, but yeah, man, the waves are not so good, but we have to surf. Every condition is the same for everyone. Like, we surf Sunset, we surf Tahiti, we surf here, so we need to be complete. And I'm happy like to be in the final, to be like passing hits in all of these events. And man, I trained so hard. I'm here with my trainer, my two trainers, like my brother, all like the good people, like my father, my mother are watching this, and I love them. Like, I love everyone. Oh man, like, I'm so happy, man. Like, thank you, everyone.
How was that final?
Oh man, it was nice. I was super happy to be there, like just to get in the final again. And yeah, I didn't find a wave. I was like, I think the wave would move a little more to the pier because of the tide, and it didn't came there. And we got 2/8 here, so yeah, it serves so good, man. All the conditions and here too. And yeah, I'm happy for him and really happy for me too.
So what an incredible achievement by Kyle Vaj from Brazil, but now it's action in the women's as Izzy Gomez already has established her title, but it's a battle for the US Open title right here at the Huntington Beach.
I'm feeling really good, and I'm just stoked to be here. And it was really cool to see Kyle win today, and that was, you know, hearing everyone cheer from the water kind of got me pumped up to win the final, so that was really cool.
So congratulations to our two winners, Poinaiki Raioha from Tahiti, who took first in the event and finishes third overall for the year, and Izzy Gomez, your 2015 world champion, who is also the US Open champion. So what an emotional moment for Brazil as Kyle Vaj, after 2 years of getting so close with 2 second place finishes, is able to secure the title in 2015. He is your world champion.
I gotta win, man. I'm world champion. Come on. Yeah, I'm happy, man. Thank you. Valeu, galera. Woo-hoo!
What a great year of action it's been here on the Stand Up World Tour, with phenomenal performances from all the athletes as the performance level just continues to go through the roof. And we've seen exciting conditions, everything from small technical waves to giant barreling surf. So what better platform for the world's very best stand-up paddle surfers? So a big thank you to all of you for joining us here for this edition of the Stand Up World Tour, and for all of those who tuned in to watermanleague.com for all the action through the year in 2015. From all of us here at the Waterman League, and from me, your host, Tristan Boxford, we wish you a great end to the year and look forward to seeing you all next year on the Stand Up World Tour. Stay tuned to watermanleague.com.